Hi, it's Jake here from Canadian Cutting Edge. Today I have another Kershaw to show you. This one's been around for a while, and so I want to show it to you before it becomes hard to find. Right now it's really easy to find. This is the Kershaw Injection 3.5, 3.5-inch blade. There's also an identical knife, just a little bit smaller. It's called the Kershaw Injection 3 with a 3-inch knife. Blade, I should say. I really like this knife a lot. I found it for $15 US. Yep, 15. There's a lot of places that charge quite a bit more, but I found it for 15. If you're interested in this knife at all, stick around. We're going to go to the tabletop mode and we'll take a good look at this knife that I am just so enjoying. So here's the Kershaw Injection 3.5. This knife I bought at Knife Center for $15, knifecenter.com. There's a lot of places that have it on for around 20, the low 20s US, and you can find it at other places, quite a bit higher than that as well. So look around, see if you can find this knife at a good deal. Because I think this is a knife that you're going to want to own. If you're a knife collector at all, this knife is, for a budget blade collector, this one hits the spot. It hits all the marks. If you can only have knives that are 3 inches or shorter, the 3.0 version is identical in every way except for it's smaller. So let's take a look at the details. We've got a 3.5-inch blade. We've got a 3mm spine on the blade. That's just less than 1/8 of an inch. We've got a full flat grind. It comes to, well, I wouldn't call this a sharpener's toil, but the way this blade terminates right here at the cutting edge is very good. The ricasso here is nice. The way the blade comes into the handle right there, it's the fit and finish matches up perfectly with the grind line there and the face of the handle. The fit and finish all over the place. This is G10, the black G10 on the steel liners. It works just fine. We've got a backspacer in here. I do not know if this backspacer is like an ABS or if it's G10 as well. I'm thinking it's plastic and not a G10. Oh, G10 is a type of plastic. I think it's a more basic plastic like ABS or something. But that's just fine. We've got a stud there for the paracord to come through instead of a lanyard hole. We've got a lanyard stud. We've got a really nice size stop pin right there for the knife blade to hit onto to secure it in the open position. And look at that thumb stud. I'm going to try to get the focus to get right on that stud. There we go. Take a look at that thing. I'm going to turn it slowly so that you can see how that thumb stud looks. It's nothing quite like seeing it in person though. It's a nice unique thumb stud, same on both sides, nice thick and chunky, and that little bit of a cutout that they did on the mill, is just enough to get really good traction with your thumb to flick the knife open. Let's focus down here again. And, just put your thumb on that thumb stud and you can just flick that knife open all day long. The cutting edge is very, very sharp from the factory. I wouldn't call it razor sharp because when I say razor sharp, I mean literally razor sharp. But it comes close to that from the box. I've not touched the edge at all with anything. I've not honed it. I've not stropped it. I've done nothing to the blade. We've got these steel liners. And everything, all the steel on here looks like it has a nice bead blast finish. I haven't double checked that it's bead blast. Hopefully I can get that information and look it up while I do the editing of this video. But all the steel looks really nice that way, except for, of course, the thumb studs and the screw hardware. These pivots are not proprietary. There is a little T6 Torx bit hole on the pivots, as well as all the other screws are all Torx 6, so that works really, really well. The blade is just over an inch thick right here when it comes at the handle, and this drop point slowly drops away. Lots of nice smooth belly and just a short inch and a half long section on the bottom that is straight. The G10 has been milled out to I'll show it on this side, to put in those two trenches with those three cut throughs on each one of those trenches. Well, there you can see it right there really well. It's focused nicely. And there's a nice finish on this G10. It's just grippy enough to be, what I really, really like. It's not overly grippy at all. And they've got their platform made flat here for the thumb stud to be on either side. Left or right, tip up is what you can do on this knife. The pocket clip, I keep mixing up thumb stud and pocket clip. I say them interchangeably for the wrong things. Oh well. The pocket clip is plenty big enough to serve for this knife, and it's nice and snug, and it holds onto my pocket really well. I've not had it move at all. There's just under ½ an inch sticking out when it's in my pocket, and that ½ an inch is, that part right there sticking out. So it's not a huge area. It's a bit of a angular line. I don't mind it at all. The screws don't get in the way anywhere. The hand feel for any grip that I grip this with feels really, really good. There's enough of a rise here at the handle to lock in the hand really well, and then it just gradually gets larger all the way to the back, so it's like a swell that comes along. And the G10 is rounded here on both sides, so the hand just falls in no matter which way you want to hold this knife. It just works, and it fits well, and it feels good, and there's no hot spots after any hard work with the knife for a while. I just like it an awful lot. The lockup is perfect. I like the lockup like this on a brand new knife. You can see that the liner lock meets up with the tang of the blade with 100% engagement, and yet there's room for it to wear over time, so that's really good. If it's over like that, that's a little bit too early for me, although it's totally functional when a knife is like that. I like it when the left edges line up on the knife and the lock, the liner lock right there, as this one does. It's very good. We've got brass washers on both sides in there. At least I believe it's brass on both sides. I can't get the light in there quite right to show you exactly. You can see it on this side. It's a larger washer than it is on the left in this view. It opens up really good with a good lockup, no wiggle back and forth, up and down. It's rock solid right from the factory. I've done nothing to this knife. I haven't tightened the pivots. I've done nothing, and it's just perfect. The knife cuts really well. We've got some paper here. This is like the paper stock, like on a greeting card or like a cereal box. That's the kind of paper this is, and it cuts that no problem at all. And it cuts through a really thin newsprint as well. This is very light. This is thinner, lighter than your typical newspaper. And watch this. A slow push cut. Okay, almost anybody can take a knife and just do, these fast cuts and say, ooh, look how sharp that is. But if they can do a slow push cut that doesn't hang, that's a sign of a sharp blade. So this came quite sharp from the factory. I like it a lot that way. Let's do a little test on, this is some thicker cable that comes from a Xbox controller, and it's got some, whoops, let's cut that off there. It's got some wire in there, a lot of steel wire there, and wires on the inside, and string kind of material in there. That's heavy. That's hard to cut all that. It's not that easy to cut through this stuff just fine and straightforward like that. So the edge is really good on it. 8CR13 MOV is a Chinese steel, but it's a budget steel that works. If it's been heat treated properly, it works really, really well. And Kershaw does a good heat treat on this. So yeah, this knife just keeps on going. The fit and finish everywhere is nice. The accents in this milling, makes it look really sharp. The shape is great. The drop point here looks nice. The unique thumb studs there. This unique, well, it's not unique, but it's less common having this kind of lanyard post instead of a lanyard hole. Everything on this thing screams quality, and yet I bought it for $15. I'll be giving away one of these knives on American Thanksgiving, so just be a subscriber, and in the comments below say something about Thanksgiving that you really like. So tell me what you like about Thanksgiving, and I'll do a draw on Thanksgiving morning, US Thanksgiving morning, November 24th, for a winner of a Kershaw Injection 3.5. The knife feels really, really good quality. I'm liking this knife a lot. I've been carrying it a lot since I got it, and I'm just enjoying it to no end. I think when I saw it, I liked it so much. That's why I accidentally bought 2 of them, which is why I chose this knife for a giveaway. This knife came into production in 2013, I believe. I think Kershaw has taken it out of production. So if you like this knife, go ahead and buy one. And buy one while you can still get it. I do not know anything about how long they're going to be around. If you are a Canadian and you have a friend that lives in the U.S. or family that lives in the U.S., you can buy knives from Amazon.com, have them shipped to them, and then have them, ship them up to you. Yes, that adds a little bit of money in shipping, but if it still comes out to less than, buying it from a Canadian vendor, then I go ahead and do that. Unless the price is relatively close, then I'm going to spend my money at the Canadian vendors. I want to support Canadian sellers of knives if I can, but I live on a very tight budget, and so I have to get my knives as cheap as I can. So just look at that knife. It's just awesome looking. If you like this knife, let me hear about it. If you like the video, please click down in the lower corner over here and click on that thumbs up for the like. If you know somebody who's interested in knives like this, click on that share button down there. If you're not yet a subscriber of this channel, please subscribe. It helps me a lot. And when you're going around your business with a knife in your hand, remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.